helps if I unmute. That
I
kind of
was like,
takes away
wait,
from it a bit. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Episode 11 of the Almost Awesome Show. I said almost. That's why I call it Almost Awesome, because I'm never awesome enough to not have any fucking issues at the beginning of this show. But I'm here. I'll say that much. We are here, and I have news and stuff to talk about. Yeah.
It's one of those days, people. One of those days.
Actually, literally just came off of a podcast recording and went straight into this. So it's
Yep.
I've actually been here. But yeah, we got a few things to talk about this week. Some hopefully some good stuff that you guys will find interesting. Turn that down a little bit. Real professional work here. But per last week, like we've done the past couple of weeks, we are going to jump in and do kind of here in a minute some of the, like smaller news stories. Kind of rapid fire through some of those, just some interesting little bits. And then I have about 5 separate stories, a review to show you guys, and we're going to do a trailer reaction. It's kind of it is a trailer, but it's it's an odd trailer. But anyway, we're going to go through all of that. The show shouldn't be like super long. I say that every week, even the weeks that it ends up being 4 hours long. So, but this week can't be because I have to go somewhere at a certain time. So we will be out of here within a certain amount of time this week. But Nick, how are you doing this week? How is everything going with you since Saturday when we last spoke in front of people?
I'm wonderful. Apparently, I'm very blurry today. Let me see if I can fix that.
Very blurry.
I'm wonderful. I'm disappearing, people.
Oh, he's gone. We've lost Nick. Oh, there he's back.
Oh my God,
And he's
I'm
even more blurry now. Well, I'll put it right here for
me. Try to go towards.
I'm not blurry right now, and I'll just talk. And let's bring it in close, guys. I'm going to talk to you guys about some stuff for a few minutes, and just to take up time while Nick. I do this sometimes, by the way, on the show, but you guys don't realize it because I can see all that, and when Nick's has to step away or has some technical difficulties, sometimes I just start talking. So if you ever see me just start randomly talking out of my ass about something, and it seems like I'm rattling on and on and on, it's probably because I'm waiting to be able to switch camera views over because Nick's doing something, and I don't know what the hell he's doing right now. There's all kinds of stuff going on over there. But anyway,
Right,
we got all kinds of stuff. I will go ahead and say while Nick's doing that, tonight I will be having a stream per usual, or has been usual for the past few years. Wednesday night stream at 9 o'clock Central Time. Hope you guys do come and check that out. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to be streaming. I got a few things I've been thinking about, one of which would be starting to work on and build the Ultimate Dreamcast I had said I wanted to build. That would be more of it wouldn't be finished because I don't have all the parts yet. Some of them are coming from China. I hadn't got them yet. But it'd be like kind of taking it apart, showing you guys what I'll be doing. So I may do that tonight. I might play a game. I might do like a What the Dub or a Rift Track. I don't know. Hopefully I'll know in the next little bit because, that's tonight. But I will be doing one. However, this will be the final scheduled every Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Central Time. Retro Wednesday, as I once called it. I will still be streaming, as I've already said, but I won't be streaming every single Wednesday night. Doesn't mean I won't stream some Wednesday nights, but it won't be on Wednesday night. I'm probably going to be doing more streaming maybe midday and stuff like that some nights when I have a chance, but it just kind of works out better for me right now, and I'll be letting you guys know on this show every, twice a week when I will be streaming or around when. Might be a little bit more impromptu streams, but yeah, the streams this is the final one that is scheduled for Wednesday nights. So if you've been coming to those for all these years, I really appreciate it. Come and hang out then, and I hope you come and continue to hang out at the other ones that I have. Nick's back.
I am.
And sharp as ever.
That's so annoying. These webcams suck.
It happens.
But I'm good. I'm good for the most part.
Good. What do you got going on? Anything new that you can talk about?
I got new Beavis and Butthead to talk about. I got new Idris Elba to talk about. I got new first kills to talk about. I got the usual week recording podcasts, that type of thing. So it's good times.
Speaking of podcasts, there was something a podcast that we just recorded. I think there was something you wanted to mention. Do you want to wait till the end of the show, or do you want to go ahead and throw that out there now for people? I know that it's a different show, but just to get the information.
Oh no, that's one we're recording next week. So we'll talk about that next Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying the one next week. We just had
Battle of the Brits. Battle of the Brit in English.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right, so with me, I will say that I will be premiering a review today. It's been a little while since I've done a review. I say a little while. I mean, I used to do reviews every single day, so it's been like a week since I released an actual official review. So that's like forever for me. Feels kind of weird, but I have actually a few reviews that I'll be releasing this week here on the channel. One of which you will see today, and the other ones will come about over the course of the next couple of days. You'll be getting actually two of which. There's one that actually I posted this morning. There's another one that you guys are going to see here in a few minutes that's going to post this afternoon. And then I have more after that. So, hey, you're getting more reviews from Jacob Anders Reviews. Hey, good on me.
More jar reviews.
Yeah. All right, so that's what's going on with us in that very discombobulated way. I guess we can go ahead and jump on into this week's little quick news bits, as I've been calling it. I guess that's a terrible name, but I'm rolling with it. I'm going with it. I've named it, and that's what it is for now. So let's jump into the first few little things I've got lined up here. Nothing big this week. No monumental things, but just a couple of little things to rattle off real quick. The Continental. Those of you that that name seems familiar, that's because that's the name of the hotel in the John Wick series. And they actually, this is another story that I mentioned on my original show a year or so ago, the Jarcast, when this first came out, that they were coming out with a new series called The Continental based on the John Wick universe. One assumes it will be based around that hotel. That show is finally coming out next year, but now we learned that The Continental will be premiering on Peacock in 2023.
The cock.
Coming, so yeah, John Wick coming to the cock. Good for them, I guess.
More people will watch it.
I would have probably gone with a different service. I don't know, but Peacock, especially based on the numbers that we looked at last week when talking about streaming, Peacock was definitely one of the lowest ones. I think that they were sitting at like 4 million subs or something like that. It was not very high, especially when compared to like Disney Plus at 150 and Netflix 220 and even HBO Max sitting at like 98 million or something like that. So not a very high number they got there. What were you saying, Nick?
Right. No, I was going to say that I heard they had no new subscribers in the second quarter of this year.
Well, I guess that's better than losing them.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if they just have none. Well, I mean, there's just nothing. I'm not saying there's nothing on Peacock, but I'm not subscribed to it, and it's just because I don't feel like I'm really missing anything in my life from not being subscribed to Peacock. I don't know. Maybe that'll get some. Maybe they're hoping this will get some people to subscribe to it. I don't think so. I mean, John Wick's a big property, but I don't know if this show is really going to draw people, like lead people to that service. But we'll find out. If you're looking forward to, if you really enjoy John Wick and you're looking forward to more John Wick goodness, then hey, get on that cock because it's coming in 2023 to Peacock. So, moving on from there, another one. This is one I had heard of, but I kind of forgot about. We have a little bit of casting news for The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. For those of you for the uninitiated, that is the Hunger Games prequel movie. I think it's a movie. It may be a series. Do you know if this is a series or a movie, Nick? Are you aware?
No, it's a movie. It's directed by the guy who did the last Hunger Games or whatever.
That's what I thought. Okay, so it is a movie. We're getting a new movie, probably a series of movies. I imagine they're gonna surround they're around the guy that Donald Sutherland played, the president when he was a teenager.
Yeah.
Takes 60 years in the past, I believe it is. But Viola Davis has been cast as the villain in this movie,
Sweet.
Songbirds and Snakes, or Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I like Viola Davis. I think she's great. The Hunger Games, I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed them. Yeah, I read the books. What? Come at me. But the movies were fine. I enjoyed them. They're good. They never wore out their welcome. They had their issues. They weren't great, but they were entertaining enough. I can't say I'm like super excited about this, but it could be cool. Viola Davis, like I said, I really enjoy her work. What about you, Nick? What do you think of this?
I like the first two Hunger Games. I hated the last two. Viola Davis, cool. She's good playing a bad guy. So
that's about where
I'll
I'm
take
at.
it. Yeah, she was good as Amanda Waller. So
yeah, So this might be great. I don't know. It didn't give a date as to when it's coming out or anything. I don't know if they have a release date as of yet. They were just talking about the casting and how she's been cast, but it's happening. I don't know if this is based on a book or not.
Yeah, it was a book that came out a couple years ago, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, it's based on a book and everything. So, I mean, if it gets the same treatment, like budgetary wise and everything that the other Hunger Games did, then good on them. I mean, it could be solid. We'll see. I mean, it's coming from the guy who did the last two. You said you didn't like those two. So I don't know if that bodes well for it, but we'll see. I mean, once again, this is so far out, who the hell knows? I mean, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I don't love that name. I'm not going to lie, but
yeah,
we'll see. Maybe it'll be good. I've said that already like 15 times just for this one story. So I guess we will find out. How about that? We'll change it up a little bit. We'll find out if the Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes with Viola Davis is going to be any good. I'll tell you something that probably won't be good that is coming in 2023. Lots of coming in 2023 news. This is what we get at the end of the year or in the last quarter or third of the year. And that would be something that is coming Halloween 2023. And I'm sure that there are some people I know are very excited about this, but me, myself, personally, I'm just fucking over it. And that would be Saw 10 or Saw X or Saw, that might be two different things. I don't know, but there is a new Saw movie coming Halloween of 2023. It is official. It is coming. There's a lot of it is up in the air. So it is like, it isn't a sequel to Spiral, even though Spiral was the 9th movie and they're calling this Saw 10. So I don't know. I don't even think they know what the fuck they're doing over there at Twisted Pictures, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
And the Saw movies, but they're coming out with another Saw movie. They fucked up with Saw movies were coming out like every fucking year. I mean, at one point in time, their tagline was, "It's a new Halloween, so it's a new Saw movie." For one of them, I was like, that's very accurate. But man, they just got really stale fairly quick. I enjoyed the original Saw movies, the first few, but then they lost me after a while. I saw Spiral. Spiral was a relative success, especially given that it came out in the pandemic. And now, since it showed that, hey, Saw, it could be successful again, they're gonna do the same fucking thing, and we're gonna get 15 more Saw movies. It could be good. I don't know, but I'm not looking forward to this. How about you? So yeah, that match, huh?
No. I'm a huge Saw fan. I probably like more than you do when it comes to Saw, but that one of them had the Chester Bennington from Linkin Park in it, and that was a cool kind of like trap. But I think after like 4 or 5, when it started going, oh, we're gonna learn more about his past and the fact that like half these characters were apprentices, and we're just gonna do things that don't make sense. I'm like, when it got to the final chapter, I just didn't care anymore. I don't care about it. This is being directed by one of the editors of the like first film or whatever. And I don't care.
Well, it's the director of, I think,
like 4 and 5 or something shit like that.
Yeah, some of the later Saw movies, which I enjoy the Saw movies, and I like the whole.
They're fun, but
they're fun, but damn it, leave Jigsaw behind. Move on. If you're going to stay in that world, move on. But apparently, this is going back to Jigsaw again.
Something original.
It says, and I don't have it in front of me because this is just a news bit, but it said it's further exploring the world of Jigsaw. I'm like,
you need to explore.
He died 15 movies ago. The fuck?
He got sawed in half by a fucking weirdo guy. It's just, whatever. So cool. I'll probably go see it in the theater. I've seen all the others in the theater, so I'll probably see it in the theater.
I mean, I gotta for the channel. I'm sure I'll see it. I know. And it may be awesome. Who knows? Maybe it needed this long break. I thought Spiral was okay. I mean, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was just kind of like, it was better than I expected it to be. Chris Rock was a little weird in it, but I enjoyed it, I suppose. I'll never watch it again, but I enjoyed it enough. So who knows? Maybe it'll be good. I'll check it out, and if it's good, I'll call it. But I'm not sitting here saying that I'm super thrilled about it. I know some people are, though. Some people are really looking forward to it. Some people are really looking forward to doing all kinds of content on it. Moving on from there, Johnny Depp. And no, I'm not going to talk about that thing with the trial and all that. I mean, I guess it's somewhat linked to it. But according to Mads Mikkelsen, Johnny Depp may return to Fantastic Beasts. I don't know how true this is, but Mads Mikkelsen says that, yeah, he could come back. He could come back to it. I'm more wondering, well, do you think Johnny Depp would go back to the company that fired him twice? No, wait, that was just once. Warner Brothers only fired him once. I was thinking
yeah,
Disney.
I think Disney fired him twice or some shit.
Yeah. Is he going to go? I wouldn't. If it were me, I'd be like, fuck you, I'm not coming back. Even if you begged me to come back. You let me go over that bullshit? Fuck you, I'm not coming back. I don't know if there's been talks or anything. This might just be Mads Mikkelsen talking out of his ass, but I'd watch Mads Mikkelsen talk out of his ass. I love Mads Mikkelsen, but do you think that there's any chance that Johnny Depp will be coming back to the world of Fantastic Beasts and Harry Potter and all that?
I mean, no, I don't think so. I think Mads Mikkelsen actually made the part better. I mean, I'm with you. Mads Mikkelsen can read a phone book, and I'd be, anticipating it as my #1 film of the year, that type of thing. But I think Johnny Depp's supposed to direct his first film here soon. I think, unless he needs money, unless he's turned into Mel Gibson or Bruce Willis or something like that, I
don't think he needs money. He's getting some money from his ex. Well,
yeah,
he's supposed to. I don't know if he actually will. But I didn't see the last Fantastic. I haven't seen the last 2 Fantastic Beasts movie. I saw the first one, and I don't even remember shit about it. I've not had any interest in seeing those 2. I heard you say a lot of people said that the last one, Mads Mikkelsen was actually, like you said, he was better in that role. He was one of the better parts of the film. So that's another question. I mean, even if Johnny Depp was willing to come back, does he need to? I don't know what happens to Mads Mikkelsen's character in that movie, so I don't even know if it's a possibility. But
no, yeah, he definitely would come back, and Ezra Miller, I think Ezra Miller does split. They should stop making Fantastic Beasts movies. This is where I learned.
That's what I gathered. But hey, there you go. Johnny Depp lovers. He might be coming back to Hogwarts. Well, those don't take place in Hogwarts. I think they take place in New York City. He might be coming back to that world. Who knows? I mean, probably. If it was me, I wouldn't do it. But that's me. Johnny Depp, he's on another level. So, from there, Nick, do you like The Lion King?
Yes. Yeah, I do. Simba.
Yeah, that whole thing. Me myself, I'm not. I appreciate The Lion King. I probably am not all over it as much of a lot of people are.
Yeah,
but I appreciate it. It's fine. I like it. Did you know? Would you have liked? Was there anything missing from The Lion King in your opinion? Was there something The Lion King needed more of, and not just cowbell?
Sex.
No, sex is in it. It's in the clouds.
Oh, tacos. It is taco. Oh, it is Wednesday. Never mind. Burritos. I don't know.
Well, you didn't say it, but if you were thinking what The Lion King needed more of was disco, well, you would be right on the same level as the Disney execs at the time of Lion King getting made, because apparently the directors of The Lion King had to fight to keep that Disco Inferno out of the movie. According to them, there's a part in the movie when they're going, it's closer to the end, when they're wanting to distract the hyenas, so the pig and the muskrat or whatever it is, Timon and Pumbaa, they get up and they get the hula dance thing, and they dance around to to distract him, so I guess Simba can make it by. You know what scene I'm talking about there?
Yeah, the hula, yeah.
Okay, so
have a tasty pig, yeah.
Apparently, the Disney execs were pushing really hard, and it almost happened that they were going to replace that song with "Staying Alive," the one from Saturday Night Fever.
Stop pushing that stupid ass song. Sorry, I don't like that song at all. I don't like the Bee Gees. How
can you not like the Bee Gees? But anyway, myself personally, I don't really see "Staying Alive" having a place in The Lion King, but apparently the people at Disney did, and it was almost in The Lion King. This isn't really much of a story. This is more just kind of a ha-ha thing. But no, it's true. They were actually pushing really hard for "Staying Alive" to be in The Lion King, which for me, that just tells me, hey, Disney and the execs and the people in the suits up there, so them making dumbass decisions isn't anything new. They've been doing that for years. because they still are pushing their bullshit in fucking movies. Hey, they were doing it way back in the early 90s too, so nothing changed over at Disney that much. But that's all there really is there. I don't think anybody is looking at this story that, hey, Staying Alive was almost in The Lion King. And, I would get it if it was like 1982 because, disco had just kind of ended, or it was late 70s. This was 1990. When did The Lion King come out? Like early 90s, right?
94, I think it was.
Yeah, it's way after disco. What the fuck were they thinking? I don't know. Whatever. It's fucking Disney. All right, so our last little news bit of the day, or of the week, or whatever. And this is another one that's just kind of... I read this. I didn't initially have this in here, but I saw this and I said, I've got to at least let the world know about this, because this needs to get out there. And that would be that Snoop Doggy Dogg, or Snoop Dogg, whatever he goes by now, Snoop, he has a new breakfast cereal coming to a breakfast table near you. Did you know this, Nick?
I almost did a spit take. No, I did not know this.
He has a company as well that offers delicious treats to the world. That apparently is not a new thing. Broda, whatever, it's his last name, Foods, or something like that. It's a real thing. They have it. There's pictures of it as well. I don't have the picture of the cereal here, but we're going to get to it. But his CEO of the company, do you know who his CEO is of the company? Yes.
I can only imagine. I can't even
Nah. His CEO is Master P. Like, no shit. Like, this is all... I am not making this... I couldn't make this up. Yes. Snoop Dogg's company, I think it's called Brodus Foods or something like that. They make real food. They've already put some food out, apparently, and they have this new breakfast cereal coming. CEO Master P put out a statement concerning it and said, "It's very delicious for shizzle." So for shizzle my nizzle, we getting some of that drizzle on the breakfast table.
Some of the cereal.
The breakfast tizzle. The name of the cereal. Can you imagine? Guess. What do you think the name of the cereal is? Just hit me with your best shot.
Doggios.
That'd be good, but no, it's you're not that far off. But no, it's Snoop Loops with a Z. SNOOPLOOPZ. Snoop Loops. You can look it up online and see the actual cereal. So yes, Snoop Loops is coming to a breakfast table near you, everybody. Get on that shit. For shizzle.
I had to look this up, and did you see this article? Jack White demands answers about the marshmallow quality in Snoop Dogg cereal.
Yeah, it's apparently it is like Fruit Loops, but with marshmallows. And on the front, it even says like with more marshmallows. But Snoop Loops with marshmallows coming to a breakfast table near you, my nizzle.
That made my day. I'm gonna look for these.
So, all right. So that's all I got for our news bits this week. Not a lot going on, clearly, but you know what? Yeah. Snoop Loops, that was enough. That's all we needed right there. So, check out all these fine products that we spoke about today. I'm sure they're all fantastic. Let's move on in to our first real story of the day, I suppose. And this one is actually a follow-up to last week's Saturday's, just the other day, Saturday stories. Funny thing is in that story, I had said I haven't commented on this because as soon as you talk about it, something else happens in it. And what do you know?
Yeah.
Something else happened in it. And I'm talking about Ezra Miller. Like everybody's talking about Ezra Miller and his crazy ass. And last week, or on Saturday, we reported that Warner Brothers was actually considering canceling the Flash movie. Like people have been talking about it, and they said, okay, we have 3 options. One of which, he gets help, he comes out, he does well, and we move forward with the movie and try and repair his image and our image and release this movie next summer. Second one is he doesn't. We kind of blacklist him out of everything, put the movie out and just kind of distance ourselves as much as possible. And third, cancel the fucking movie, more or less. Well, it looks like Ezra Miller may be trying to go the route of the first option. A statement provided to Variety by a representative of Ezra Miller says, having recently gone through a time of intense crisis, yeah, I'll say, I now understand that I am suffering complex mental health issues and have begun ongoing treatment, Miller says. I want to apologize to everyone that I have alarmed and upset with my past behavior. I am committed to doing the necessary work to get back to a healthy, safe, and productive stage in my life. So, Ezra Miller has come out and apologized, and we did talk about this on Saturday, saying, if I know you had said pretty much, fuck Ezra Miller and fuck The Flash, I'm not going to see this movie. I refuse to support it. I'm not going to. And I had asked the question, what if he comes out and gives like a heartfelt, hey man, sorry, I'm going to try and do better. Apology, blah, blah, blah. Would you be willing to see it then? You had said, I'm going to need to see some progress and all that. So where do you stand right now as far as Mr. Miller and The Flash, given these heartfelt words that we got from him? And remember, Nick, he is suffering complex mental health issues. So just remember that when speaking about him. Where you at, man? Oh, you're muted.
I guess that was part of my plan. I'm going to be doing this a lot all day. No, I actually may be doing that a lot all day from the other stories you told me about. Yeah, I told you before, I say it again, I'm not seeing The Flash. I'm just not doing it. I know you're going to do it because you love the train wreck, the situation with the train wrecks and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude.
You're all about it, but I'm not doing it. I'm not. It's going to take a lot. This guy could have hurt some people, seriously. Like he
did hurt some people.
But he could have, like the kid with a bullet in his mouth, like he could have really hurt people, like death-wise, like situation. But I look at it this way: if it's something that happens where it's like Robert Downey, when Robert Downey Jr. was going through some of the shit he went through, I just said, oh, "Fuck Robert Downey Jr." Because these people they have a lot of privilege that they get to experience when it comes to being an actor. Yes, it's very difficult and it can cause a lot of mental issues, but I'm one of those people that like you have this gift and all you're doing is using it to just do stupid shit that could hurt, like seriously hurt people or kill people. And it's going to take a lot for him to come back from that, to me personally. And I just have no interest in seeing The Flash anymore. Flash, one of my favorite characters, and I won't do it. I won't do it. I'm sorry to Andy Muschietti, and yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that? I mean, this is reading it. We didn't see a video. We couldn't really like hear anything. How genuine do you think this is?
I think they actually went. I think they found him. The corporate execs, people, lawyers went to him and like, look,
yep,
you either do something about this shit now, or we're going to cancel everything. You're never coming back to Hollywood. They gave him some. They said something to him that scared the shit out of him, or he was going to go to prison.
I know what it was.
Jail. Yeah,
I know exactly what they said to him.
It
wasn't, we're going to cancel you and all that. I think he'd given up on that. I think he had to have known my career's shot or something if I keep on going this way. But no, I feel fairly confident they found his ass. They sent out some enforcers and they said, we're going to sue the fuck out of you if you don't calm the fuck down and get your ass in gear. Because they could do that. Because they could take him to court. They've done it to other, I don't know about Warner Brothers, but studios have done that to other actors or people in the business that have tarnished a product before it's come out. I guarantee they threatened him with lawyers. And his crazy ass was running around, and then they started talking about millions and millions of dollars, and he was like, oh, wait, hey, guy, let's not get crazy. Let's talk this out. What can we do here? I mean, that had to be it. Because, I mean, they released that whole piece just Saturday or Friday, I think is when they released it, less than a week ago, about here's the options and that we're going to do. And then all of a sudden, oh, my bad, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do all that. How genuine is this?
It's like anything in Hollywood. They knew they fucked up. He probably knew he fucked up. Does he care? I don't think he cares, but I think he's going to do whatever he needs to do to get this situation under control. And yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I'm still not
I
supporting the
mean,
Flash.
I honestly don't think that this statement is genuine. I think this statement went through 15 people before it actually hit our eyes.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
And if these are even his words, probably not. I don't know, maybe. But like I said, it's been edited and moved around and all that. This is very corporate speak. Someone was at best or at worst telling him, hey, put this, say this. Do I think it's genuine as of right now? No, not given his previous behavior. Do I think that he could maybe, if he is getting some type of help, he'll have to be getting something because they'll be reported. People are going to be all over this thing. Could it lead to him being a better person or like coming to terms with it and realizing, oh shit, I did do something bad? Maybe he'll get off. I don't know if he's on drugs or what, but he's on something. I mean, he's out there. Maybe he'll get some help and then he will realize, oh shit, I really did have a problem, and maybe that he'll be able to turn it around. I don't know, but as of right now, no, I don't think that this is genuine. I'm still gonna see that fucking movie though. That's for damn sure. Ain't nothing gonna keep me out of that theater. I want to see this. It's probably not a shit show, honestly. I'll probably see the movie and be like, "Holy shit, Dick, you got to see this movie. It's actually pretty good." But
like,
I just want to see this movie because it's just everything surrounding it. It's it's the Batgirl effect. But that's where we're at. I think though all the Ezra Miller news is going to, the brakes have been pumped. I don't think, unless he like escapes captivity or something like that, I don't think we're gonna hear much about Ezra Miller again for a solid few months until they're gonna let that. This was their silencing, their gag order, and we're not gonna hear shit else about him. We'll hear people reporting on it for a little bit, but he's gonna fade out, and then I think they're gonna bring him back a few months prior to the release of the movie and say, oh look, they're gonna start having him do some like charity shit or something, and just out there doing good guy stuff to kind of rebuild his reputation so that they can try and repair the reputation of the film. And the movie comes out over a year from now. Well, no, I'm sorry, less than a year from now. I was thinking it's June 23rd, 2023. So I say we got probably a good three to 4 months. We're not gonna hear anything from this guy until after the beginning of the year. And then we might see some reputation building stuff, in my opinion.
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I could be totally wrong. Who knows? I've been wrong about other things, that's for damn sure. But I think that's what the studio wants, though. That's their plan, is to keep his ass quiet for a while and then, bring him out, repair that reputation, repair the movie, and I don't know. We'll find out closer to June 23rd, 2023, when The Flash comes out. But as of right now, Nick
how
says,
excited I was for this movie.
What was that?
I was actually excited for this movie, like legit, like. Ezra Miller, I'm telling you, The Perks of Being a Wallflower is one of my favorite movies that came out that year. And as everything Ezra Miller has been doing, I loved. And then just all this shit started happening. And just, I hate to be the guy that, like, I'm not going to support something. But, like, me personally, when it comes to actors in crises, we do a lot of things where we bash on the person, we say we're not going to support them, and then we go support them the next year. I'm not talking about just in general. Just like some people are like, I hate blah blah blah, and then he's in a new movie, let's go see it. And I'm like, I'll give it some time. Like I said, maybe I'll see The Flash in like 20 years from now when I'm on my deathbed or something.
And I get that. I mean, my stance on all that is, when it comes to, I'm not gonna not go. I'm not. Actors are people. They do dumbass shit. They do things all the time. They have different opinions. I mean, there's people out there, actors, especially nowadays, everybody puts their fucking opinion out there. There's been actors that have said things, stood for things, done things that I'm just like, I don't agree with that, or you're fucking nut. But I'll still go see their movies. I have like that. I can separate the two. Tom Cruise has said and done some weird ass shit, but at the same time, I'm like, he's a really good actor and he puts out some really good movies, so I go see him. And with like Will Smith, people's like, I won't support him. He slapped somebody. I'm not that worried. Now Ezra Miller, I won't lie.
That's different,
yeah. No, with Ezra Miller though, I won't lie. He was kind of almost there where I actually get not supporting him a lot more than some of these others, because like this dude just is every fucking day. Every day or two, we were hearing something new that this psycho did around the goddamn world. He was globe trotting. At some point, I was like, how did he do that? He was on the other side of the planet the other day. How is he doing all this stuff and getting away? But yeah, I totally do not fault anybody for saying no. I don't want to support that. I mean, I said I will, and I make a joke about it, but I get it. I get people that said it. But I am wondering, as we get closer to the release of this movie, I'm wondering, I'll be interested in revisiting this in a few months and seeing if your opinion is, if they've been able to change your opinion at all. We'll see then. But
I mean, anything's possible, so.
Yeah, who knows? We'll see. But you guys out there in movie land, let me know. Are you planning on seeing the Flash movie? Are you looking forward to it? Do you not give a shit what this guy does in his real life? Or are you just like, fuck this guy, I'm not supporting it? Do you think that his apology was sincere? I mean, I don't. Nick clearly doesn't. But what do you think? Maybe we're assholes. I don't know. Alrighty, so moving on from there, we're going to jump right into a trailer reaction of a show. I'm sorry, not a show. Well, yeah, it is a show. By Guillermo del Toro. My tongue doesn't move like that. Cabinet of Curiosities is a new show that he has coming up that we're gonna watch. This new, it's a kind of a first look trailer. It does show a lot of stuff from the show, but it's also, the show it's still being worked on, so it's not like coming out next week or anything. I'm not sure. Do they have a release date of this yet? Do you know when that is?
Oh yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That would be my 40th birthday on October 25th.
All right.
I'm excited.
Actually, it is coming out a lot sooner than I thought then. But so October 25th, this is coming out, and they put out this is the first, I think not the first trailer. There was a teaser trailer.
No, yeah. This is like a Guillermo talking to you type of trailer.
Yeah, and we did. This is almost like one of them Alfred Hitchcock trailers from back in the day. So it's not a completed trailer. There's a lot of, let's just take a look at it, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. So here is the second trailer of Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. Here you go.
Cabinet of Curiosities is a show that I've always wanted to make. In this anthology, we gave ownership of each episode to the directors.
Action.
Each of the episodes has a whole world. They present you with different delights. Some are savory, some are sweet. You get a surprise from each of the bites. We wanted to create beautiful, practical creatures with all the artistry that goes into creating a great monster. We achieved some of the most remarkable images in the series. With Cabinet of Curiosities, what I'm trying to say is, look, the world is beautiful and horrible at exactly the same time.
So there it is, guys. The Cabinet of Curiosities trailer. So I'm going to let Nick do some talking because I know I'm excited about this as well, but I know that you're really excited about it. What did you gather from this trailer? What little tidbits did you take away?
One, Guillermo del Toro, as we all know, is a very visionary director. You look at Pan's Labyrinth, you look at, everything he's ever done. This is like what he is known for. And the thing about this is, it feels like what I want Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, or is it Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark? Sideways Stories. Anyway,
that movie that
Scary
came out
Stories
a year in 2019.
Yeah. Based off those books, because those books, if you ever look at the artwork, is like really, really disturbing looking. And this is what, Guillermo del Toro actually produced that movie, but this is what I want, that type of story. And this is kind of feels like Tales from the Dark Side if you ever watched the movie, or Tales from the Crypt a little bit. These are things that I get excited about because they're not traditional horror films. They're like, what can we do in an anthology series, which I always love about horror, when you can do anthology, get different directors and throw them into the mix and see what they can come up with, and you have Guillermo del Toro helping out. And this shit is awesome. I mean, I am excited it's coming out on my birthday, but it's just everything about it. It looks like Pan's Labyrinth. It looks like, every like great horror film, like Trick or Treat or something like that. And it just, the gothic nature and everything about what Guillermo del Toro stands for when it comes to like horror elements, stuff like that. It just, it looks great.
It did.
Yeah,
I'm super excited about this show, and I was when I first heard about it over a year ago, that he was making something. I just had to see his name on it, and then it was going to be like an anthology series, and I was like, I'm on board. I'm cool. But just from this trailer alone, what I saw, the first shot, or one of the first shots that we see, is the fountain pen slowly like ramming into somebody's fucking eyeballs.
Oh,
like,
it's awesome.
I got an eyeball thing. I got an eyeball and fingernail thing, and that's just that. That episode, if it has that and somebody's fingernails being peeled off, it'll be the most horrific thing in the world. But that was horrifying, but awesome. Also, you mentioned.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say, you mentioned Tales from the Crypt. That's exactly what I said. This could be like the tale. I hope this show continues on, because this could be like the Tales from the Crypt of not our generation. Tales from the Crypt was the Tales from the Crypt from my generation, or our generation. But this could be the Tales from the Crypt for today. I got a very Tales from the Crypt-esque vibe from it. Now, I mean, maybe not in that ironic twist of fate kind of way like the Twilight Zone does, but just the kind of like horror-themed anthology series. And man, each of them looks so fucking good. The practical effects, I don't think they will, because he's not known for like covering everything up with CGI. He's one of these great directors, and I know he's not directing all of these, but he's definitely involved, and his name's on it. But he's one of those directors who appreciates the practical effects and understands what digital or CGI is for. It's there to enhance the real thing that's there. It's not just, yes, he's had characters and things that were totally CGI. That's what made sense. But I get the sense, and everything he's made, he tries to go practical whenever he can, and then maybe add some digital flourishes here or there. And that's what CGI should be. Your whole movie shouldn't be CGI. It should be practical, as much practical as possible, and then you add that on top to just blend it all in. And it seems like that's what they're doing here. I saw lots and lots of practical work with the monsters and all that, and that's awesome. His movies are very well known for having those really out there, crazy, really unique-looking creatures like the hand-eye guy from Pan's Labyrinth and the fawn, and I mean, Hellboy himself, which I know that wasn't his creation, but he definitely put his touch on it for that movie. And all of his movies have very unique creatures in them. Like when you see them, you say, that's a Del Toro creature. And I'm just really excited overall about this. Something he said, excuse me, something he said in this trailer that I really thought was cool was, he said that each director of each episode is going to have ownership of their story, which tells me that while he's probably going to be there as like to help, he's letting them tell their story, and that's really good. I mean, we've talked about many times how studios and execs and all these people, outside influences, will get involved with people's projects, and it changes them sometimes for better or for worse, but a lot of times for worse. I think it's really cool that he brought on, it's very much the opposite of the Disney Marvel effect. He's bringing on all these well-known horror or horror directors so that they can bring their style to this show. And I'm really excited to see that, because I'm really excited to hear him say, I'm going to let them do them. That's why we brought him here, because it doesn't make any sense to bring in all these directors that are known for horror and have their own style if you're not going to let them do their thing. So it's really cool that he's doing that.
That's why VHS was so good, because the directors were allowed to just kind of do their thing. And I mean, you go look at on IMDb and the cast list for all the episodes, and it's just stacked with people that have either done horror films before, like Crispin Glover and F. Murray Abraham, or people like Andrew Lincoln and Kate McCucci and stuff like that. It's like a murderer's row of just great. Peter Weller's going to be in one of the episodes. It's like a murderer's row of just great talent. On top of the directors, you have Panos Cosmatos, Jennifer Kent, all these people. It's just. I cannot wait for this shit.
Del Toro himself, it said in the show. I didn't realize he's going to be directing one of them as well. I didn't catch the name of it, but in the trailer it showed the one where I've seen the imagery of the pentagram and it has the woman on it. It said whatever the name of that was, and directed by Guillermo del Toro. I was like, hell yes, he's directing one too. That's the show just keeps getting better and better every time I see it. I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, this thing really gave us some creepy imagery. That's all. It kind of set a vibe. And that's what I was looking for. Like that thing with the baby hand, where the lady's like sitting there with her baby and like another baby's hand comes over and grabs her. That was fucking freaky as shit. Or the lady who's like, like running at the screen. That was fucking freaky as hell too. And I'm wondering how long these episodes are going to be. Are they going to be like movie length, like hour and a half? Are they going to be just an hour, 30 minutes? Whatever it is, I'll take it. And I'll take all of it I can get. But I really hope that this show, first and foremost, I hope the show's good, but all indications point towards it will be good. Assuming it is good, I really hope it gets picked back up for a second, third, fourth, fifth season, and we have our new modern day Tales from the Crypt. This could be, because this is a Netflix thing, that whole, they've been leaning on Stranger Things all this time. Maybe this is the next thing that's going to pick up. Well, not after, because Stranger Things has one more season, but it could be that thing that draws more people to it. Because this seems like a show that, in my opinion, could... people in that community, horror community, film community, we know the name of Del Toro. And we see him and we know, him, and other people do too. But, there's some normies, if you will, that maybe aren't as familiar with his name. Maybe his work, but not his name. This seems like a show that could pick up lots of word-of-mouth steam, especially being on Netflix. And really, it could draw some people towards the platform. So this seems like a really good move on Netflix's part. The only thing that worries me about it is that Netflix has been talking about cutting money back a lot, and I'm hoping because they greenlit this a while back, I'm hoping that if it does get further seasons, they don't, because it looks expensive, that they don't say, well, you're a little bit too much money, we're going to cut back. But it also says that they're willing to spend money on the right projects. So I'm really looking forward to the 28th. It's the 28th, right? 25th. 25th of October, which I know you are too, for multiple reasons, to see how this thing does and how it turns out. I hope it's just a huge hit. Was there anything else you pulled from this new trailer? Because I've only seen it the one time I recorded it this time.
Yeah, it has all the hallmarks and inclinations of just a cool, fun, crazy, over the top, and scary horror series. Like I said, if it can kind of do the same effect as Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, I'm on board. So.
Oh yeah, the only thing it needs to add that Del Toro has done before in the past is big ass robots. We're gonna get a big ass robots episode. Probably not.
We could,
but who knows?
Episode 10.
Yeah. But Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities coming the 25th of October. That's really right around the corner, so be on the lookout for that. I'm really excited about this. You guys let us know in the comments below what you think and if you are looking forward to this show as well. Alrighty, so now let's move right along into our second official story or main story of the day, and this one now I'm gonna give. We're gonna talk about the Wizard of Oz.
Is it? Oh.
And not just the Wizard of Oz. Actually, we're gonna talk about Wizard of Oz, not the Wizard of Oz. You'll know what I mean in just a minute. Let me give real quick. I am in the minority when it comes to The Wizard of Oz. I don't love this movie.
Oh man, I quit the stream. Oh my god.
I don't dislike it or anything. It's never spoken to me. I appreciate it. I appreciate a lot of the things about it. I appreciate what it's done in the past, and there are parts of it I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Some of the artistic things that it did, like the black and white going to color and stuff like that, I think is amazing. And there's things about it I do like, but it's just, I don't if it's on and my kids are watching it or something, I mean, I'm not gonna like leave the room or be like, turn this off. But I'm not ever going to pick it. That's just is what it is. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against it. People that love it, good on you. I understand why, but it just doesn't speak to me like a lot of people. And my understanding is that you do like this movie. Am I right, Nick?
Oh yeah, I love it. But I grew up on it. Like it was one of those like rotation movies for me.
Yeah, that's a lot of people, I think. I mean, it's a very popular movie, and we've gotten a lot of. There was a sequel, Return to Oz, which was kind of a
Okay, we don't talk about that one.
pseudo
Oh my
sequel.
God.
That's an
How
interesting one. Need to add that to the
nightmare-inducing.
forgotten awesomeness. But there's also The Wiz, which was the Michael
Yep.
Jackson led and Aretha Franklin alternate version. That was a little odd. And we also got a James Franco sequel, like actual or prequel, the Great and Powerful Oz, I think a few years ago from Disney. Well, we're getting another one, ladies and gentlemen, but this is the one that I think most people, myself included, even me, not being a fan of it, said you shouldn't just don't do that. Blackish creator Kenya Barris. Did I say that right? Yeah, Kenya Barris is working on a new take on The Wizard of Oz. Barris will be writing and directing a reimagining of the classic story. Barris's upcoming movie will reportedly be a Warner Brothers project, by the way, which this is... The Wizard of Oz is an MGM movie, but The Wizard of Oz is public domain at this point, so that's weird. It will be... According to what they said, it will be connected or have not connected. It will have callbacks to the original film, even though it's coming from a different studio. And it is being described as a modern reimagining of the iconic musical. So I know what I think of this, Nick. You being a fan, much more fan than I. What are these comments? These few little comments. What do they say to you?
You know, Kenya Barris is a great writer. Girl Trip, one of the funniest movies in quite a while. And I Blackish apparently was a really good show. I didn't watch it. I don't need a remake. Every time I hear remakes, it doesn't matter if it's a white creator, black creator, Asian creator, whatever it is. I don't need another remake of this nonsense. It's just like there's already 16 versions of the Wizard of Oz somewhere in some form. But because this movie, I think, is it's either close to 100 years old or is it will be soon. I think it's already hitting the whatever that thing is, like when Sherlock Holmes hit it. It's like now everybody's making it, and same thing with Winnie the Pooh and Wizard of Oz. I think is in that free roaming, free reign thing. It's just
Public domain.
Yeah, thank you. Public domain. This is the Disney situation all over again. It's like Warner Brothers
and it is in public domain. The Wizard of Oz is public domain. Anybody, I mean, I could go make let's go make a Wizard of Oz movie. I mean, anybody could.
Yeah, I know. I don't care. I hate. I think I was telling you about it. I don't care who's making it. No, I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't need it. Maybe I'll watch it if it looks interesting or a different take, but yeah. No, I really don't have any interest. Sorry.
That's kind of where I was with this.
Yeah.
Now, this has nothing to do with the creator or the Kenya Barris. I'm not familiar with Kenya Barris's work. I may have seen some of it, but I can't really. That name doesn't jump out at me. I've heard of Blackish. I've seen some clips of it here or there. It look funny. I mean, I don't watch a lot of TV. I mean, I watch some very specific shows here or there, but I just don't watch a lot of TV. So I have not seen that show. I think Anthony Anderson's in it, and I like Anthony Anderson, but I've not seen that show, especially when it comes to sitcoms and stuff. I just don't watch a lot of TV anymore. So this has nothing to do with them. I don't care who they said. They could have said Steven Spielberg is remaking The Wizard of Oz. I love Steven Spielberg. And I would still say this is a terrible fucking idea. There are a few movies out there in the world that I believe just shouldn't be remade. And it's not that they couldn't be remade better or that, technology's here to improve. It's none of that. It's that they have become such a piece of popular culture and such, they are so big that no matter what you do, no matter how good the movie is, no matter nothing, it is going to not. It's never going to live up. It's never going to live up to it. And things like Wizard of Oz is one of them. That's one you just
Wars.
Can't remake it. Like the original Star. I mean, you can make more Star Wars, but the original Star Wars.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because they're not making a sequel. They're reimagining, which is just remake. They're remaking the original movie. So,
which is okay. First of all, Oz is great and powerful. I don't have a problem with them making that because it's a prequel, but it was a terrible movie to begin with. The other two, the thing I actually kind of want, and a lot of people may not want, is like a sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, The Great Glass Elevator. But I don't need to see another. I don't need Tim Burton doing another Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie. It's just like we have Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's perfectly all right to scare children and into nightmares and stuff like that. But it's just like I don't need to see another Wizard of Oz. If I want to watch Wizard of Oz, I'll just go watch the fucking original Wizard of Oz. It's perfect.
I'm actually surprised Tim Burton's not directing this.
He's too busy doing that Wednesday nonsense. But no, but it's like you go back and watch the Wizard of Oz, and there is some amazing special effects. Like the tornado in that movie it's actually quite impressive for 1930 or 40 or whatever.
Oh yeah, came out. The movie, much respect for that time. Some of the technical things it did were they look great today. I mean, look at it; it is a visual masterpiece when it comes to that. Even though the movie doesn't speak to me in a lot of ways, I don't have anything against it. I don't hate it, like I said, but visually and technically, they did some amazing things there.
And I get it. This movie's almost 100 years old, so they feel like they can remake it. I get it. It's like when they remade The Lion King. I get it. They won $1 billion out of it, but it's just like at some point, the idea of remaking stuff is just it's a dead concept. It doesn't need to happen. I feel like that Kenya Barris just really likes, or he got hired to do a project, and this is what he's doing. And I don't know. I get tired of these nonsense.
It's a bad idea.
It would be like, yeah. If they remade Lord of the Rings or something like that, can you imagine that? Remake The Hobbit. Go back and remake The Hobbit for all I care. But Lord
there's
of the Rings,
some
you don't
properties
remake that shit.
I think you can expand upon. You can make sequels, prequels, all that, and everybody's like, They're probably still going to say it doesn't measure up to the original, but that's okay because it's his own thing. To remake, some things you just don't. Jaws, that's one of them. You don't remake Jaws. You don't remake The Wizard of Oz. You don't remake It's a Wonderful Life, even though they pseudo did that with Family Man. But, there's certain properties you just don't remake because you're setting yourself up for failure. They're so beloved that you're never going to be able to stand up to that, even if it is better. Even if your version is better than the original, it will never be acknowledged. and you are setting yourself up for failure. Plus, one of the great things, the things that I do like about The Wizard of Oz is what we talked about a minute ago, the spectacle of it all. There's just how grand and just interesting and like all the things they did practically to create this fantastical world. They're not going to do that here. This is going to be a CGI fest. They're going to be walking around on a fucking green screen the whole time singing. And they're probably going to change the songs around and God knows what else they're going to do to the story. If anything, if anything in this is anything different from the other one, there's going to be 1,000 videos of people trashing it before it even comes out.
Dude, not even that, man. The minute this got announced, I'm sure there's 1,000 videos already trashing this movie.
Oh yeah, and this is one of them. I know,
personally, I get it. I know Hollywood enough to know, like, I get the reason they're doing this, but even I'm not gonna make a video of it because I'm not that stupid. But I'm just, I just have.
We're making a video right now, but what?
Well, no, I mean, like, that's okay. I'm not making a video on my channel.
Yeah, I'm the stupid one. No, I get what you're saying.
Okay. No, but like this kind of stuff, like doing this type of show is fine to talk about this kind of stuff. But like when people go on and they make like a 40-minute video about why an African American actress or black actress is playing a different character than what the original character was, it's like whatever. But when it comes to this shit, like I don't need another Wizard of Oz. That's just my opinion. Will I see it? If it's any good, I may see it, but I don't care enough about it.
I'll probably see it once again. I have a channel.
Per channel.
I have a movie channel, so that's what I do. But
yeah.
I mean, and as far as like, I didn't even get into the like who they're going to cast, where, and how, and what. And once again, I don't know Kenya Barris. I do not know. Is it he? You said?
Yeah, Kenny Barris is he. I actually got a good idea for this movie. The Tin Man, Snoop Dogg, the Scarecrow, Master P, the Lion, whoever's mad at Snoop Dogg at the moment, I think is or no, we'll make the Lion
Snoop Loops.
Bad Bunny, and then make
Oh my God.
Missy E or something like that. Missy Elliott is the
Well,
that'd be great.
and that's
Make
not.
it a rap movie.
I didn't. I mean, they kind of. That's not it. I wasn't even going there as of yet because no
No, I
casting or anything. Is this going to be like, when it comes to casting, I just want them to put, as I've said with every single movie, don't worry about who someone is, what they look like, all that.
Yeah,
just put the best person for the role in it. If you're going to do this thing, just put the best person in the role. Don't have an all this cast and all that. Don't make this the female this, the black that, the white this. Just make it the movie, I mean, it doesn't need to be a only this thing. I mean, that's a bad idea as well. Because you go that route, if you try and make this movie, this is the blank Wizard of Oz, instead of just this is Wizard of Oz, the new Wizard of Oz. That's the only thing that needs to precede that word, that name is the new Wizard of Oz, not the whatever insert descriptive term here, Wizard of Oz. You're setting yourself up for double failure because it's just going to be a shit show. Just make the fucking movie, man. I don't care if you change sexes, races, or whatever on some of the people, but just make it to where you're putting the right person in the right role. But this movie's going to fucking be a shit show either way because it will never be acknowledged. If it's bad, oh my God. Well, I'll say that. If it's good, no one will ever really acknowledge that it's good. The best it'll get is, it's all right, but it'll never stand up to the original in people's minds. And that's what matters. If it's bad, though, holy fuck. This movie will get raked over the goddamn coals for it. It'll be the new Cats. And it's got a fucking cat in it.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's
that's
my take. I mean, and granted, I'm not a fan, but I do understand what this movie means to a lot of people and the station it holds within the zeitgeist of people, of just the world and pop culture. And I think this is a terrible fucking idea. Like I said, Steven Spielberg could be making it, and I'd say it was a fucking terrible idea. But who knows? Maybe it'll come out and just be amazing. I hope it is, because I hate seeing bad fucking movies. But there it is, ladies and gents. Wizard of Oz. They dropped the by the way. It's just called Wizard of Oz, not the Wizard of Oz. Big difference. Kind of like the Predator. Remember how that worked out for Predator? They added a in that one. This one, they're taking the away. It's coming, though. A remake at some point in the next few years. What do you think? You offended? You mad? You happy? Do you not give a shit? I don't know. Let us know in the comments below. All right. So let's move on to our next story. Now, this next one, I don't know. Let's just jump right into it. Robert De Niro, he's coming back. I don't think he really went anywhere, but he's still making movies. But we got some news that Robert De Niro, his new project, and it could be interesting for some. He's going back. He's going back to being gangsta again. That's what he's known for. Robert De Niro has a new project in the works at Warner Brothers, Wise Guys, a period piece mobster drama that is, in fact, intended to be released in theaters. I think it's really odd how they have to, nowadays they have to specifically say that. This is a theater movie. Back in the day, you just assumed it, but anyway. Oscar-winning director Barry Levinson of The Natural, Good Morning Vietnam, Rain Man, etc., is attached to direct. So, got some good pedigree there. We're looking good. The film is described as Vito Genovese. I'm sure I'm butchering that. And Frank Costello, two Italian-American crime bosses that ran their respective families in the middle of the 20th century. In 1957, Genovese attempted to assassinate Costello, but failed, although he was wounded and decided to retire as much as one can retire from the mafia. Because that mafia, as soon as you get out, they pull you back in. De Niro is playing dual roles and these roles will see him portray both Genovese and Costello, despite the fact that neither of them are meant to be twins or even siblings. And also, did I put it here? I did not. I didn't include it. This is being written by Nicholas Pileggi, who is the writer of Goodfellas, by the way. That's another key point there. So, and those of you that know, Goodfellas, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, is one of De Niro's best roles, one of the best movies he's been in. It's an amazing movie. So we got a lot of good pedigree here. We got writer of Goodfellas. We got Barry Levinson. We got Robert De Niro times 2. And it's a gangster picture. So, I mean, this could be great. These movies, honestly, when I hear about them, I'm like, I'm sure when I see if it's good, which I'm assuming with this kind of pedigree, it'll at least be solid. They're usually really good. Like Goodfellas is one of those movies that I'm like, oh, it's amazing. I really enjoy watching it. My wife loves it. She's always wanting to watch it. And every time I watch it, I'm like, yeah, it's really good. That's awesome. I remember first seeing it in the movie theaters, and it was really awesome then. But it's not a movie that I look forward to seeing. It's like when I was really young when Goodfellas came out. But like The Irishman. When The Irishman was announced, I was just like, okay. I wasn't like hyped to see it. But then when it came out, it was really fucking long. But, it was really good. But it's just not a movie. I have a hard time getting hyped for these movies. What about you, Nick? I mean, I am excited about the pedigree here and the people involved. I'm sure this will be a quality flick, but I can't really say that I'm hyped about it, but it'll probably be really good. What do you think?
Now, who's directing it again?
Barry Levinson.
Oh, Barry Levinson. Oh, man, Barry Levinson and Robert De Niro have been doing some good films in the last couple of years. As with anything that Robert De Niro does that's not involving 88 minutes or some shit. The gangster genre has always been a good genre for Robert De Niro. It's gonna be interesting to see him play dual roles, even though he's not playing twins. And actually, he should do a twins movie.
That's that was a question I had. Why is he playing both of them? If they're not related and they're not twins,
oh no!
What is the purpose of playing both roles? I mean, besides just to say, I'm old as fuck and I can still do this.
If this were like what's his face, the guy who directed him and Silver Linings Playbook. If it were that, it would make sense. But I don't know. Barry Levinson's a good director. I just really like the fact that they're making another gangster movie with Robert De Niro. Hopefully they won't fucking use that de-aging technology they put on The Irishman. But I'm all about this. Barry Levinson.
Are we gonna get Joe Pesci too? If they put Joe Pesci in it, I'm on board. Then I'll be like, fuck yeah, okay. We're really getting some Goodfellas vibes here.
Dude, they need Joe Pesci versus Robert De Niro. That would be amazing.
Yeah, Joe Pesci needs to be the other guy. I don't know.
Right.
I'm just really curious as to. I want to see this trailer so I can understand. Like, is it just going to be Robert De Niro, or is he going to have like some prosthetics or some CGI face stuff going on? At that point, I'm like, why is Robert De Niro even doing it? I'm just curious as to why they have Robert De Niro playing dual roles in this of characters. If it was like two brothers or siblings, something like that, I would get it. But there's like no relation to these two. They're not related at all. But he's playing. I don't. Did they look? I don't know if this is based on a true story. If it is, did these two look similar in real life? Is that what it is? There was nothing given in the story that I read about it to let it just said, hey, he's playing dual roles. And it said, no, they're not related. They're not twins. They're not siblings. They're nothing. But he's playing both of them. Like, okay.
I mean, it's weird, but Barry Levinson knows how to direct movies, and it'd be with Nicholas Pileggi coming back as a writer. I mean, he did like Vegas and stuff like that, but it's just like this could be good. I mean, it just all depends on what they're aiming for.
And I'm sure that's the thing is I do feel as if with this pedigree, this will be a good movie. I'm sure this will be a solid movie, or it could be a shit show. I mean, who knows? But I think this will be a solid movie. I don't understand some of the choices, and maybe it's only because I don't have all the information. That's definitely probably a big part of it. But I don't understand some of the choices, and I just have like being truly hyped for it. When it comes out, I'll be like, yeah, well, I'll see it. I'm sure it'll be good. And I'm excited to see a good movie, but I can't say I'm just like, fuck yeah, when is this coming out? I can't fucking wait. But it'll be in theaters. Yeah. But yeah, I think we're both. I think maybe your excitement is a little bit more than mine. But hey, if you like Goodfellas, you like Robert De Niro and Barry Levinson, you like gangster movies, we're getting one at some point in the immediate future, and it will be in theaters. So you'll have to go to theaters to see it. Coming soon.
Theaters.
Okie dokie. That is. There it is. So moving on to, did I do that? Yeah, we did that one. Did I do that one? Yeah, we did. I got mixed up as to where I was.
I was going to say, I think we just did that one.
Yeah, we did. We're going back. So I did want to, before we move on to our next story, I got a review for you guys. It's been over a week since I've done a review.
Anticipating this review.
And it just seems odd to me. So I watched this movie last night. Nick was actually going to watch it with me, but both of us passed out, and I actually watched it in the middle of the night. So I saw this movie. I have had an early copy of it for like over a month. The movie is glorious, by the way. Not the movie. The movie's called Glorious. I've had this screener for like over a month, and I just forgot I had it, and it was embargoed anyway. That's why I was in no hurry to watch it, because even if I shot a review, I couldn't put it out until this past Monday. So I'm a couple of days late. But here is, I'll let you guys check out my review and my thoughts on it, and then we'll talk briefly about it, even though I know Nick hasn't seen it, but he's actually heard some stuff about it. So here's my review of the new movie coming to Shudder. I don't think it's out yet. It either just came out or it's coming out Friday. It's coming out very soon. And it's called Glorious. So here you go. A movie about a guy stuck in a rest stop bathroom with a glory hole. So pretty much every single road trip I take. Glorious is brought to us by director Rebecca McKendry and stars Ryan Kwanten, J.K. Simmons, and Sylvia Grace Krim. After a breakup, Wes ends up in a remote rest stop. He finds himself locked inside a bathroom with a mysterious figure speaking from an adjacent stall. Soon, Wes realizes he is involved in a situation more terrible than he could imagine. So Glorious is a new Shudder original flick that is about a guy stuck in a rest stop bathroom with a glory hole. Okay, so there is a little bit more to it than that, but that is essentially the setup. The vast majority of this movie takes place inside this bathroom. We have Wes, played by Ryan Kwanten, who's on a trip and stops at this rest stop. Wes has clearly just gone through a really bad breakup, and he's not in the best of places. After going on a depressed drinking binge the night before, he ends up in this rest stop bathroom with no pants on, by the way, puking his brains out in a stall. But he's not alone. He hears the sultry voice from the stall next to him from none other than Joe Jonah Jameson himself, J.K. Simmons. Oh yeah, and there's a glory hole in the stall wall as well. Now, I don't want to ruin exactly what's going on here, but let's just say that Simmons is not exactly what he first appears to be. This movie gets weird. There is something that Simmons' character wants from Wes, and we find out what that is as the story goes on. We get a little bit of body horror, we get a little bit of straight up horror, and we also get some cosmic horror. We actually get quite a bit of cosmic horror. H.P. Lovecraft fans, you're gonna find something here you like. That's not to say that this is an H.P. Lovecraft story, but it does have a lot of roots within Lovecraft's work. Now, what really worked for me with this movie was its setting. This is a single setting movie for the most part. And I do love me one of them single setting movies, especially when it comes to this genre. We leave the bathroom a couple of times here or there, but for about 80% of this movie, you're in this nasty ass rest stop bathroom. And even though we are in this pretty confined setting, the story still works here. I was very invested in the story the entire time, which by the way isn't very long. This movie only clocks in at about an hour and 20 minutes. The movie never losing my interest, and being in such a confined space does kind of show how interesting the story is. The story gives out just enough information as it goes on to keep you interested every step of the way. It's not like the deepest story in the world, but what it has is really intriguing, and the end does have some twists and turns that you don't really see coming. The movie also has quite the dark sense of humor. It's not like laugh out loud funny, but it never quite takes itself too seriously. There were some genuine funny moments in this flick mixed in with all the horror. And that brings us to the horror, more specifically the gore, which while there isn't a ton of it, when it does show up, well, let's just say they make it rain. Quite literally, movie in one part. The practical effects in this movie, which most of which look great. There's not a ton of them, but what's here is really quality. Now, on the flip side of that, the few CGI effects we get aren't quite up to the same quality. While some of them, such as a moving picture thing that we get while a character is describing a story, look pretty good, some of the other ones, kind of like this barrier type thing that's going on outside, aren't so hot. And by aren't so hot, I mean they kind of suck. They don't take up a tremendous amount of screen time in the movie, so I'm not gonna knock it that much, but they are there and they really do stand out. Performance-wise, everybody here is doing a fairly solid job. Quentin as our lead is pretty good, and the few minor side characters we get, while they're not the greatest, they're good enough. Now, J.K. Simmons, on the other hand, per usual, does a fantastic job, and his inclusion within the cast here does elevate everybody else a bit. If you take him out of it, everybody else here doesn't look quite as favorable, but either way, everybody did a fairly solid job. Not great, but fine, except for Simmons, he's always great. Guys, overall, I had a really good time with Glorious. Probably not the first time that those words have come out of my mouth. Well, its digital effects are a bit shoddy, and some of the performances aren't necessarily the best. There's some really good practical gore effects, J.K. Simmons knocks it out of the park, and the story, which is most important, is really entertaining with some very interesting twists. Is it the next great horror movie? No, but it is definitely worth checking out on streaming.
Across the street.
If you're a fan of horror, especially cosmic horror, then check out Glorious one night, and I think you'll have a glorious time. Yeah, I did that. So there it is, guys, my review of Glorious. If you enjoyed and want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and help my little channel grow. If you want to help out the channel, check out my Patreon in the description below and become a jarhead and get some of the awesome benefits to go along with that, like these guys. And possibly check out my top tier and become a bad motherfucker like my man Silverlock and Marge G. If you liked what I had to say, give me a like. If not, let me know in the comments below why. And as always, stay sexy, Arkham.
Makes me wish I'd driven the extra 40 miles to the next rest stop.
That wouldn't have helped.
Why? Is there a troll living in that one?
Can I just say real quick how awesome J.K. Simmons is in pretty much everything he's in, but I've been kind of ruined by the guy. Whiplash, one of the best movies of the past decade, which he plays a character in, kind of ruined me on J.K. Simmons. Because anytime I see or hear the guy now, that's what I see, his character from Whiplash. So the entire time while I was watching this movie, I kept expecting him to come walking around the fucking stall and just sling a fucking cymbal at this motherfucker's head. And while no, sadly, that does not happen in this movie, how fucking horrifying would that be? Yes, cosmic horror fans, I think it would definitely work into that. Have you seen Whiplash? That son of a bitch is fucking terrifying. That's about all the cosmic horror I'll ever fucking need. It's official, J.K. Simmons is one of the elder gods. Tell me you don't want that. So yeah, there it is, guys. Glorious. My glorious review of My glorious review of Glorious. So what do you think? Are any of you guys interested in that? Nick, I know you haven't seen the movie, but based on my comments, and I think you said you had heard some stuff from some other people, are you looking forward to Glorious? Or what does this look like something that might be up your alley at all?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I like weird, kind of crazy, creepy, slimy horror films, especially when it takes place in a bathroom of some sort. I think it was, or a glory hole. And yeah, this is like
it's a bathroom with a glory hole.
That, yeah, with what looks like a demon or woman glory hole. I don't know what's going on, but this feels like Mandy or Possessor in some ways, but just maybe a little less messed up. I don't know. Like I said, I gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's got its violent moment. I will say, to those of you that want no spoilers at all, like you want to go into it as blind as possible, don't watch the trailer, because the trailer gives away something in it that I alluded to but didn't give away in my review, that I think it won't ruin the movie, and you kind of pick up on it before you get there, but it does ruin one of the earlier reveals in the movie. It's not the big reveal, the big twist that I was talking about in the end of the movie isn't given away in the trailer, but one of the key points to it, it won't ruin your experience, but I would suggest going in as blind as possible. Like what the trailer totally gives away what is going on with J.K. Simmons' character in the stall. You know, not totally, but you know what's going on there. I tried to stay away from that as much as possible in my review, but it's not a big surprise, especially after watching the movie. You're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But if you want no spoilers, don't watch that trailer, or don't listen to the trailer. You can watch it because it doesn't really give it away. But as far as like like you had mentioned like violence and like Mandy and what was the other one you said?
Possessor.
Yeah, Possessor and things like that. It's not like to that level of violence, but because it's a smaller made movie. This was a low budget movie, not low budget, a lower budgeted movie. It's quality, but there are some violent parts, and they have some really good prosthetics in it and practical effects, but it's not a lot. Now, I mean, when it's there, they put it to full on use. Like there is literally a part. I can say this without spoiling it and tell you why, but blood and guts rain from the heavens or just from above. Like it's fucking everywhere. There's just blood everywhere at one point, and it's a bloody movie, but it's not like nearly as violent as something like Mandy or the Possessor. Definitely not Possessor. Jesus Christ, that movie was viscerally violent as hell. You want to see a movie that could possibly make you puke? Watch that movie. The unedited version, oh my God, or uncut version, Jesus, that movie. And I have a strong stomach, but there were parts I was just like, I'm gonna look over here for a minute because that movie was rough. But yeah, this one's it's worth it. Shudder was exactly where this needed to go. It did not need to go to theaters. This is a perfect Shudder movie. So if you got Shudder, check it out on Shudder. It's worth it. And if you don't have Shudder, check Shudder out. It's got some pretty cool movie. It's not just all. I was actually surprised when I got Shudder a couple of years ago by how much variety they have over there. Most of it's kind of horror themed, but there's some comedies on there. There's some action, stuff like that, and they have a lot more variety than I was expecting. It's a really good service. I really enjoy it. Do you Shudder, Nick?
I don't, unfortunately. I probably should. It's not real expensive a month, right?
No, I think it's only like $5 a month or something like that. I don't know. It's not a lot, but they have a lot of. Now, fortunately for me, Shudder is one of the few companies I have that sends me stuff, so I actually get a lot of their stuff early. So I guess I don't have to have Shudder, but they just got a lot of content. They have a good deal of content on there. I think it's AMC. Yeah. They're owned by AMC.
Yeah. The Sadness is one of those films I keep hearing about that I need to watch one of these days.
That's one of those movies they sent me, but I didn't watch it prior to the embargo. And I've heard it was really good. I should have watched it. Could have had a review, but I didn't. Don't. It's too late now. But I've heard that's good too. Check it out. But yeah, Glorious. Check it out. It's fairly glorious. I think you might like it. Okay, so jumping back in to our shows, we got to our stories. We got 2 more stories to talk about today. And these last 2 are... Do we have 2 more? Did I lie? No, wait, yeah, we do have 2 more. One of which I'm really excited to talk to Nick about. But first, let's jump into this one that I'm excited to talk about as well, but not as excited as that last one. We're going to talk about Shazam and Black Adam for a minute. And more specifically, we're going to talk about Black Adam and The Rock and how he did not want to be in Shazam. According to him, a movie about... Whoops, sorry. A movie about a guy stuck in a rest stop bath... Sorry, I didn't turn that off. All right, anyway, according to The Rock, when the first draft of the movie, Black Adam, came to us, it was a combination of Black Adam and Shazam. 2 origin stories in one movie, Johnson explained. Now, that was the goal, so it wasn't a complete surprise. But when I read that, I just knew in my gut we can't make this movie like this. We would be doing Black Adam an incredible disservice. It would have been fine for Shazam having 2 origin stories converge in one movie, but not good for Black Adam. I made a phone call. I said, I have to share my thoughts here. It's very unpopular because everybody thought, hey, this script is great. Let's go make this movie. I said, I really think that you should make Shazam, make that movie on its own in tone, or make its own tone that you want, and I think we should make a separate Black Adam movie. We should make this separate as well. So apparently Shazam and Black Adam were originally one movie, and it was going to be both their origins in one, and I don't know if they were designed to branch off from there, but apparently these 2 movies, Shazam and Black Adam, were linked at one point in time. I had heard that Black Adam supposedly was supposed to have shown up in the first Shazam, but then they took it out or whatever. He didn't. But I didn't know that they were actually like one actual movie with both of them. I don't know. I honestly didn't know enough about Shazam prior to Shazam coming out. Besides, he used to be called Mr. Marvel or Captain Marvel. I'm sorry. Prior to that whole DC Marvel thing years ago, but so I really don't know a lot about Black Adam. I'm more knowledgeable about him now that he and Shazam have the exact same powers and they get their powers from the same place, but they just went two separate ways with it. I don't know how. I mean, I think that was probably the right call. I mean, if they were going to give each character their just, dues, it sounds like from what I'm hearing about Black Adam and where he comes from and like his whole backstory, that seems like too much movie in one movie to cram both of those into one. And one of them was going to get overshadowed. I don't know which one that would have been. Probably whoever wasn't The Rock. So I think that this was probably a good call. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, you get if when it comes to The Rock, and he's in a movie that is about with Shazam, and you have whoever playing Shazam, the guy from
Zachary
Chuck,
Levi.
Zachary Levi. You're going to overshadow Zachary Levi, especially if you're trying to make a Shazam movie. You're trying to get this character off the ground, and Black Adam's been around forever. You're going to have a disproportionate problem when it comes to The Rock and Zachary Levi. One is a huge actor, literally and figuratively, and the other is Zachary Levi, who was in Chuck, and he played like one of the guys in Thor or whatever. And allowing Zachary Levi to have his own movie or have his own couple of movies and allow him to build his base like he did and make Shazam the way it was, even though Shazam and Black Adam have always, from what I've heard in the comics, have always fought against one another. Get Shazam off the ground first before you throw The Rock into the mix and have The Rock into a movie with Zachary Lee. It would have made this a movie that was actually level when it comes to the playground and kind of like the overarching arc. To do this on the tier top,
absolutely,
it would have been bad.
It would have been The Rock movie.
And I don't love The Rock as much as I used to because I think he's oversaturated and he comes off as kind of a dick a little bit, to be fairly honest, but he's a huge actor. He's very famous, more famous than Zachary Levi. And it would have ruined Shazam. It would have made it less fun.
It wouldn't have been Shazam. It would have been Black Adam. Shazam, even if they called it Shazam, because that's the character you would have been watching. Because, like you said, Shazam wasn't a well-known enough character within most people out there, and neither was Black Adam, but it was The Rock. So whoever The Rock was, if it's a movie that was trying to balance those two, it wouldn't have been a balance. And I think this is the right. I think that they could come together because this did, like you said, it gave Shazam an opportunity to develop as a character to where now people do know that character more, and they're looking forward to the second movie. I think that if they had gone the route of having Black Adam and Shazam together, we wouldn't be looking forward to a second Shazam movie. We'd be looking forward to the next Black Adam movie or the next movie with both of them together. I don't know. But I think that was definitely the right call. I think that the two could come together at some point after Black Adam gets his movie or maybe in his movie. I don't know. But definitely,
I mean, this is good.
I think it was a good call on his part to, no matter how good the script was, I think he made the right call. And he says, it would be a disservice to Black Adam. I honestly think it would have been a disservice to Shazam for Black Adam.
Yeah. I mean, having Mark Strong as the main bad guy in the first movie and then having Helen Mirren as the main bad guy in the second movie, this makes Shazam all the more interesting to want to watch. And throwing The Rock in there is like throwing The Rock into anything. It's just like, at some point, you just don't. Honestly, I really don't even want to see the Black Adam movie because I'm just tired of The Rock and it just looks like a shitty movie. But Shazam at least, at least Shazam and Fury of the New Gods it looks like fun. Black Adam just looks like another shitty comic book movie.
I will give you that. I still really like The Rock, or Dwayne Johnson, whatever he goes by now.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, and the movie might be good, but that Black Adam trailer did not look.
Dude, it's from the director who directed the Jungle Cruise. And
Yeah,
that
it didn't
movie
look
that-
great. It
Yeah,
looked
Air-
vanilla.
yeah.
It looked like it was just going to be another movie. It's going to happen and then fade off. Shazam actually looks like, and Fury of the Gods looks like it could be really fun. It like you said, it could be a continuation of the surprisingly fun 2019 movie. Black Adam just looks like it's just another. It looks very throwaway from the trailer. I haven't seen the movie. The movie might be awesome. I don't know. The character seems like he could be cool. It seems like a really cool character. He's this anti-superhero. He is a good guy, but he's not afraid to kill people, and that's something we don't get from a lot of mainline superhero movies nowadays. I'm sure at some point he's going to, not kill people or something, but having someone who's like that, kind of like different from everybody else, seems like a cool character. I just don't know if the movie will be. We'll see. Soon comes out. Black Adam comes out real soon, doesn't it?
Yeah, October. I like Antonio, what he wrote. He said, Jacob didn't like The Wizard of Oz, so you had to get him back somehow.
Yeah, there you go. You don't like The Rock. Very comparable. I don't like The Wizard of Oz. He doesn't like The Rock. But no, I like. I didn't say I don't like The Wizard of Oz. I said it doesn't speak to me like it does a lot of people. It's not my thing.
I know.
But
I just thought that was funny.
No, but I think that this was actually a really good call on his behalf, and I'm happy that they actually went that direction, because we wouldn't have gotten the 2019 Shazam movie, which I really enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to Fury of the Gods. Black Adam, the jury is still out on that. We'll see how that turns out. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Shazam and Black Adam should have been in the same movie from the beginning? Do you think first Shazam was terrible and it should have just been them? I guess they would have been fighting against each other. I don't really know, but apparently somebody was on board with that train of thought at some point in time. But then The Rock said no to Shazam, yes to Black Adam. So that's why we got two different movies. Alrighty, moving into our last story of the day. And I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this one, and you know what it is. Quentin Tarantino is back on the show. We talked about Quentin Tarantino a few weeks ago, about how he said, in his opinion, the best movie ever made was Jaws. And I maybe don't agree with that specifically, but I agree that Jaws is definitely one of the best movies ever made. Maybe even top 5. It's a fantastic film. I agreed with everything he said concerning Jaws. Well, he's got another hot take. Some people consider that a hot take. I didn't really consider it a hot take. I think a lot of people are in line with Jaws being one of the greatest movies ever made. I think that's not too hot of a take. This take, though, is on fucking fire. Like NBA Jam back in the day. You're on fire! That's what this take is. This motherfucker said some shit here. Let me read what Mr. Tarantino had to say. And he's got a lot of credibility in the film community for, his knowledge, and what people put a lot of stock in what Tarantino says when he speaks on movies. This may be damaging that credibility, in my opinion. But he appeared on the Real Blend podcast recently. And here's what he said. And this is all it is. This is what he said. This is all he needed to say to spark this debate. I like Crystal Skull. Well, when he was asked about Indiana Jones, the Indiana Jones movies, he says, I like Crystal Skull more than the Sean Connery one, Tarantino said. I don't like the Sean Connery one. I don't like that one at all. That's such a boring one. It's boring. And he's not an interesting character. The joke is made immediately. It's like, stop, or my mom will shoot. Ooh. And Nick says, no, sir, I don't like it.
What a dumbass.
I think that Nick is referring to those comments, not the movie. Now, of course, Tarantino is referring to The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the fourth Indiana Jones movie, the one with Shia LaBeouf. And the Sean Connery one, he is referring to the Last Crusade, the third Indiana Jones movie, which some people say is the best. I don't think it's the best one, but I do think it's a solid movie. I will say, before you get into yours, I'm going to say that when I was a kid, I saw all the Indiana Jones movies in the movie theaters. The Last Crusade was my least favorite of the three for a while when I was a little kid. It didn't speak to me as much as the other ones did. But over time, I actually grew more and more fond of it to the point to where I would definitely put it probably the number 2 spot. Raiders is still my favorite, but then this one and then Temple. But definitely above Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Now, I don't hate Kingdom of the Crystal Skull as much as some people do. There's a lot of disdain for that film out there. I don't think it's a great movie, and it is definitely number 4 in its release and its ranking, in my opinion. But I don't hate it as much as a lot of people do. All monkey swinging Shia LaBeouf aside, I think it's okay. It's watchable. But Nick, I know you are a big fan of Raiders of the Last Crusade. So much so,
yeah.
in the background, I think in your room you have the poster hanging up.
Yep.
So what are these thoughts? How do these thoughts? Did Tarantino hurt you? Have you been cut? Are you much like Ezra Miller? Fuck him. You're not watching his next movie now. How do you feel about this movie or these comments?
Unfortunately, Quentin Tarantino has a lot of goodwill outside of his creepy foot fetishes and stuff like that. He has a lot of goodwill. He's not Ezra Miller, who did like 3 films and then decided to go on the crazy train. But I am a huge Last Crusade stan. I love it more than the whole entire series of like Raiders and of course Temple of Doom. I understand like the love for Temple of Doom and Raiders. They're both great films. Temple of Doom, PG-13, all that stuff. I can't get on board with this comment about the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, especially how they took Frank Darabont's script, which I can't find it anymore, but I think we talked about this. They took Frank Darabont's script, which was actually quite amazing. It would have made the movie way better than it was, even though it still dealt with aliens. And they gave it to David Koepp, who is known for doing Spider-Man, like writing Spider-Man and stuff like that. He did Stir of Echoes and whatnot.
The X-Men Phoenix?
No. Thank God he didn't do that one. Yeah, it was Simon Kinberg. No, David Koepp is known for doing like Mission Impossible and Jurassic Park and stuff like that. He's an okay director or writer, but they handed it to him and they had him write the script. And as we know, that turned out, I think it's a piece of shit. There is a sequence in there, the ant stuff, which was from Frank Darabont's script, but I just don't. Quentin Tarantino can love whatever the hell he wants. He can say whatever the hell he wants. That's who he is. He deserves the respect because he is a cinephile. He knows his shit. But come on, you can't not tell me. If you said Temple of Doom was better than Last Crusade, at least I can understand that. I can get that. Even if you said, Last Crusade is not a good movie, don't tell me that fucking Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a good movie when you have Shia LaBeouf in there and he's a fucking idiot.
Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah. Shia LaBeouf is Boof or whatever the fuck he calls his name. I did say LaBeouf actually. Okay. He's come into his own as a pretty talented actor. He's just had a lot of problems. But to say Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a better movie when you have problems with editing, when the sky turns from daylight to darkness in like 2 seconds, or you have Cate Blanchett playing a Russian as a Russian whatever the fuck she Russian. Is. Yeah, and then you have all this shit with monkeys swinging, and there's some good moments in it with like the chase sequence through whatever the campus is and stuff like that. But come on, Quentin, I know you watch the show. Listen to your friend Nick. He knows everything.
Yeah, he'll be on next week. But
yeah, he's gonna be on next week. We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk. I'm with you.
So stupid.
Look. I get I'm with you where you say, okay, if you say you don't like even his comments, he said the Sean Connery one, Last Crusade is boring. He doesn't like it. Okay, I get you. Like you said, like what you want. I've always said that. Everybody, I like fucking Deep Blue Sea. I bring that up a lot.
I like Ang Lee's a Hulk, so
I like lots of bad movies. Okay.
Yeah.
I get if you like a movie and you don't like a movie, that's fine. But I don't see how, and I hesitate to say just being a cinephile and all that, how you could, just being a human being, how you could look at Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and say it's better than Last Crusade. If you say you don't like Last Crusade, I didn't for years. I get that. I didn't dislike, but it didn't mesh with me. Okay, I'm like, yeah, I get that. I could see that. But then to turn around and say that this over here is better, I'm like, I mean, if you said you don't like both of them, I get it. But damn, how do you say that's better? Because that movie the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull starts out okay, and it actually isn't that bad, and then it just gets real shaky and falls the fuck apart. That's the problem with it. Last Crusade at least doesn't do that. It's cohesive from beginning to end. And I don't know. I don't get these. But once again, to each his own, I guess. But damn. I think
too many aliens popped out of John. Too many aliens popped out of John Hurt's chest in Alien to put him in like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull as this like weirdo
oh yeah, he was in that, wasn't he? He was her dad.
Yeah.
Miriam's dad, I guess. Yeah, the movie's just very forgettable. But you know what? Once again, to each his own. Maybe the Kingdom of the we're bound to find them. There had to be Kingdom of the Crystal Skull lovers out there. We found them. We just found them in a real weird place. And I do think that there's going to be a whole lot of people that disagree with these comments, which, I mean, I guess that's any comments nowadays. And I doubt Quentin Tarantino gives a fuck what anybody thinks about his comments.
Yeah, he don't give a shit. Yeah, he's like, if you don't like my comments, you can go fucking fuck a tree or some shit. He don't give a shit.
Yeah, and he has
down next week for intervention.
He has every right to do. He can do that. He's in a point in his life and his career where he can say whatever the hell he wants. But damn, that's a hell of a hot take there. And some people consider the Jaws thing a hot take. No, that's lukewarm. That's not even lukewarm. That's cold as ice compared to this. This is a hot take in the movie world. Cold as ice. Kingdom. I've never heard this. I've never heard anybody say this. I'm sure somebody in the comments would be like, "Well, I liked it," but then that's great. I'm happy for you, but I've literally never heard anybody say that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was better than any of the other Indiana Jones movies. But to each his own. That's our friend Quentin. On the show next week. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if it gets people to come to the show. Yeah, Quentin Tarantino scheduled for next week. Anyway. All right. So that's all I got this week. That's all we got this week. Not a lot. Not our long. Actually, this may end up being our slightly shortest show, which I'm okay with.
Like we've done it, people. Under 2 hours.
Yeah, we've done it. Under 2 hours. Just barely, but... that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Not a whole lot going on this week, so that's one of the reasons didn't have a lot to talk about, but did have some interesting stuff. Quentin Tarantino's little hot take there being probably the most interesting. Hope you guys are looking forward to some of the stuff that we talked about today. I hope you learned something new. I skipped a story in our little news bits I noticed, and I wasn't going to go back to it. I guess I'll just mention it here. And this isn't even a story. That's the thing. This week was like just a bunch of non-stories. It's like a bunch of shit, information. Here's some stuff. And it's like, well, that doesn't really tell me. And this one was like that. And this was the one video game thing I had for the week. It has come out, ladies and gentlemen. We finally know. I know you're all going to be blown away by this. Any of you that know anything about video games. The PS4 outsold the Xbox One. I was like,
oh, wait. I did that wrong.
I mean, if you're talking about like the 360 era with like the 360 and PS3, okay, that's a story. The Xbox One shot itself in the foot out the gate, and the PS4 came out fucking swinging and capitalized on it every way possible. That was their one of their most successful generations.
Was it like a 25-to-1 ratio or some shit?
No, and the actual story is that the PS4 outsold the Xbox One 2-to-1. So it sold twice as many as the Xbox One, or the Xbox One sold half as many as the PS4.
But to be fair, the Xbox One did recover itself pretty well.
And they did. They're doing very good this generation. They're actually gaining tons of ground. They've been outselling the PS5 for the past couple of months, or past few months at this point, even in Japan. The series, that's crazy. The Xbox is outselling the PlayStation in Japan. Their home turf. I didn't think I'd see that happen, they've been gaining up ground. PS5 came out swinging and gained a whole lot of ground out the gate, but every month, for the past few months now, the Xbox brand has been gaining up, and they're slowly closing that gap. to where they'll be neck and neck, and then we're going to see a hell of a... I don't think either of them is just going to murder the other one this generation. I think we'll get to the end of the generation. It's going to be very much like the Xbox 360 and PS3 generation, where they're real neck and neck. But, yeah, I thought that was a funny story because it's like we've always known... Everybody's pretty much known that it was kind of a 2-to-1 situation. I mean, some people were trying to throw out there that it was like, oh, it's like 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 or something. It's not that. It's 2-to-1. They sold twice as many, which is still a lot. I mean, they sold... The Xbox One, I think they said, came in at like 54 million, and the PS4 was at like 102 million, something like that. I mean, that's great. That's good on them. I'm not taking that from them, but they put this out there like, whoa, we didn't know. Well, no, we've known. I mean, that's nothing new. That I don't know what the fuck. And the reason they're making a big deal about this is because that whole Brazilian thing that I've reported on twice now, and different things. That was another thing that came out from that, is Microsoft was, once again, just trying to prove that Sony's full of shit, saying that we can't compete with that. And they're like, look, they outsold us 2-to-1 last generation. They finally just came out with the actual numbers and said, this is what we sold, this is what they sold. They fucking obliterated us last generation. They're okay. They're going to be fine. So that's why we got the information, just backstory. But that was the one thing I missed in the beginning. That there's a reason I overlooked it, because it was pretty much a non-story. But anyway, I did want to say, I wanted to do this at the top of the show, but I'll go ahead and put it out there now. I have opened up memberships on my channel. So those of you that were wanting to support the channel in some way, I only have one tier as of right now. You'll see a little join button under there over by subscribe. You don't have to. I'm just happy that people are here, but if you're wanting to go a little bit further and join a membership, and you'll get... the biggest thing you'll get, I guess, will be early access to my content when I upload it. There's some other little perks on there. Nothing major yet. I am going to add more tiers as time goes on, but as of yet, it's just the one single tier on here. It's I think $9 or something like that. I am going to have a lesser tier and higher tiers I'm going to add in the next coming weeks, but I just wanted to get that out there. You have to apply for it on YouTube, and I just wanted to get the ball rolling, so I just kind of put that basic out there. But hit the join button. You can see, if you hit it, you can see the stuff before it makes you what do they call it, before it charges you or anything. You can read up on it. But if you are wanting to help the channel out a little bit more and you don't want to go over to Patreon, I understand that. Hit the YouTube join button, and you can help me out there, help the channel out, and keep this channel afloat, as they say. Put some money in my pocket. Not a lot, don't worry. I don't make a lot of money doing this. But beyond that, of course, I have updated my Teespring store a bit, and it is soon going to be featured on a shelf on my channel, so you'll be able to see my Teespring stuff here on my channel. That's applied for as well. There's some issue with my store ID or something. It's having issues like linking up, but I did add a few more designs there, coffee cups, stuff like that. Nothing like super major. I have some other designs I'm working on, but some of them weren't high quality enough, so I do have some other designs actually coming to that store. I actually had to open a new store. It's the same link and everything, but it's the store's the name's different, but it's over there on Teespring, or Spring, I think is what they call it now. So check that out if you're wanting some Jacob Anders reviews and or the Almost Awesome Show merch. I would appreciate that. And yeah, that's it. Tonight, streaming. I don't know what yet. I might make a Dreamcast, or start making one. Uh-oh, there's an alarm. I might play a game. Who knows? I'll decide. I'm about to go pick up my daughter from school. I'll probably decide while I'm in the car. That's how I roll. But I'll put
way to roll.
I'll put a blast out on social media and here on YouTube as to what I'll be playing and when it is. But it will be at 9 o'clock tonight, Central Time. And, all the other things that I talk about, check out my Patreon and all that stuff. How about you, Nick? What you got going over there at the Movie Emporium? What's happening at the Pleasure Emporium, my friend?
I got Sexy Time and Taco Tuesdays and Rub 'em Out Thursdays. The usual.
Rub 'em Out Thursday.
Yeah, Rub 'em Out Thursdays.
No.
No, Movie Emporium, you can find content like I have reviews for Beast, I think, coming up tomorrow, as well as the new Beavis and Butthead episode. Orphan First Kill. Another A24 film is coming out, their 80th film this year, which is awesome. And some other stuff. Westworld's over, so I have the whole season reviewed over on my channel. But Twitter, YouTube, Audio Boom. Yeah, Nick as always.
Nick, as always, people, you heard it here first. Yeah, go check out Nick's channel. Give him a like and some subscribes, or a subscribe and some likes, and whichever. Give him all that stuff. Give him some love over at the Pleasure Emporium. But the review that you saw here today for Glorious will be hitting my channel here in a little while. It might be a little bit later, but between 4 and 5 today, my time, I'll have that up. I have to put a thumbnail together. And I also have a review for Day Shift, the Jamie Foxx Netflix movie about vampires. I was supposed to see it early. I did not. I finally did see it, though. I have a review of that coming in the next day or two. And there's something else. I've got another review coming of this movie's in advance, but yeah, reviews coming and this content. And of course, Saturday, check us out we will be at regular time at 2:00 Central Time this Saturday, talking about whatever the hell happens between now and Saturday. That's all I got. You got anything else for the good people here on the YouTubes, Nick?
Always remember to drink your Ovaltine.
Always drink your Ovaltine. That's right. Son of a bitch. Bye.